Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel. This is my review for Mortal Kombat, the 2021 version that is the first movie in the series, at least the live-action series, to be rated R. However, the movie is not a continuation from the previous series because why would anybody want to continue on from this abomination? But rather, it's a reboot. The plot involves an MMA fighter named Cole Young as he learns that this birthmark on his chest that resembles a dragon is actually a sign that he's been chosen to compete in a tournament known as Mortal Kombat, which pretty much decides the fate of the universe. However, powerful enemies from Outworld are coming to Earthrealm to try to take out Earth's champions. So along with a soldier named Sonya Blade, Cole Young has to seek out Earth's champions so they can all defend the Earth and compete in Mortal Kombat. The movie's been out for a week now, so whether you saw it in theaters or on HBO Max, chances are you might have seen it already. And because of that, I might give away some slight spoilers. Nothing too major, but I'm just giving you that heads up right now that there's probably going to be slight spoilers. So anyway, as I mentioned beforehand, this is a reboot of the Mortal Kombat film series. The first movie came out in 1995, and I actually enjoy that movie. It's not all that good, but it's a lot of fun. It has a lot of charm. And I think it's Paul W.S. Anderson's best movie. I mean, while I think it's not a good movie, it's certainly a masterpiece compared to its sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And this is something that I forgot to mention in my review for Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but I have to give this movie's poster credit for warning the audiences that what they're in for is terrible. I mean, the tagline for this movie is, "Destroy all expectations," and that's bold for a poster to just flat out tell you, don't have any high hopes for this. But yeah, that movie is perfect if you want to get drunk with all your friends and just laugh at it because man is it inept. So we have this new movie right here, and considering how video game movies have gotten, I don't want to say more faithful to the games, but definitely a lot better in terms of being actual movies like Rampage and Detective Pikachu, there was a lot of expectations going into this Mortal Kombat because it was rated R for one thing, and considering how the game series itself has just progressed is pretty astounding. My history with the games, I played the arcade version a couple times, but when it came to actually owning the video games, the first game I ever bought in the series was Mortal Kombat X for the PS4, and just recently I bought Mortal Kombat 11 and actually streamed it on Twitch a couple days ago. So I've gotten more into the video games, and the games itself have definitely amped up the level of gruesome violence that they can show off. I mean, those games are... it's just insane to think that the original game where you're uppercutting someone's head caused an uproar among parent groups and politicians. Like, imagine if these games came out back then. Like, that is just insane. So considering how violent the newer Mortal Kombat games have gotten, it wouldn't have made any sense for this movie to be PG-13. So it's R, and let me tell you, the R rating is so worth it. It lives up to that potential. It doesn't come close to the level of gore and violence that the games do, but it definitely doesn't pull back. It's bloody, it's gruesome. There are some really gnarly, dare I say, fatalities in this movie that feel like they were pulled right from the game. And like the 1995 movie, this is a lot of fun, and it's for different reasons. The 1995 movie was fun for being a goofy fighting movie, and the PG-13 rating surprisingly didn't hurt it. This movie has the advantage of being rated R, so the fights are a little more brutal, a little more creative, and they're just fun. No other way to put it. They're just fun scenes. But whenever there's not an action scene going on, the rest of the movie is just very, very lackluster. And I know the 1995 movie could be considered lackluster as well, but here's the difference between both movies. That 1995 movie had a sense of humor about itself in ways. It had a personality, whereas this movie, it takes itself a little too seriously than it probably should. I tried playing the story mode for Mortal Kombat 11 on Twitch a couple days ago, and maybe it's because I didn't understand what was going on, but I just didn't find it all engaging. and found it a little too serious considering how over the top the violence and gore is. And I kind of felt like this movie was missing some humor to it. The only character that really comes in and delivers some humor, or at least makes the movie a little more fun when there's not action going on, is Kano. He is the most entertaining character in this movie, again, when there's not an action scene happening, for a while, because later on in the movie, I got really sick and tired of Kano. I'm like, will you just shut up? This guy is getting on my nerves, and somebody, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, can you just kill him already and just perform a huge fatality? Because I cannot stand this asshole. And it might be the reason why Johnny Cage isn't in this movie, because they probably didn't want two obnoxious guys in the same movie. The other characters are serviceable, but also just surface level in terms of character development. The actress who plays Sonya Blade, sometimes I thought she was kind of flat, but then other times I thought she was a lot of fun. Jax is just kind of there, doesn't really serve a whole lot of purpose. Kung Lao and Liu Kang are fun as well, but they're not in the movie for very long. Raiden is once again only there to deliver exposition and doesn't really do anything that cool. Sub-Zero is, for lack of a better word, cool, and Scorpion's not in the movie long enough, but when he appears as Scorpion, he's pretty badass as well. Goro is pretty much a cameo in this movie, and the CGI on him is terrible. It looks like something straight out of The Incredible Hulk from 2008, where, hey, it looked good back then, but in 2021, not so much. But the biggest crime that this movie commits in terms of its characters is with Cole Young. This is the main character of the movie, and he is not a character that is in any of the games. He's completely original, and I hate when movies do this. I hate when movies take a series or property with pretty much an ensemble cast of characters, and then they create a completely new character to act as the audience avatar. They did that with Walter in the 2011 Muppets, which that kinda worked, but I'd just rather see Kermit in the gang. They did that with Alice in the Resident Evil movies, and I haven't seen any of the Resident Evil movies, so I can't really comment, but it just doesn't make sense that, like Mortal Kombat, it's a game full of pre-established characters, so why would you just make one that's completely original when that's not the character people want to see? Same thing with Cole Young here. Cole Young is uncharismatic, he is boring, and he just kind of sucks. Everyone around him when it comes to fighting is infinitely better than him. Now I get that this movie has him training up to be one of Earth's champions, so he has to learn to be this great fighter, but therein lies another problem. This movie is a setup to the actual Mortal Kombat movie. Like, I think a more appropriate title for this movie would be pre-Mortal Kombat, or as some of the TV ads are saying, Mortal Kombat Begins, because the tournament actually doesn't happen in this movie. It feels like a setup to the next movie. It even ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, really? So you guys just made a Mortal Kombat movie that was more of a prequel than the actual Mortal Kombat movie? That's almost inexcusable, I gotta say. I don't have much else to say about this movie. I don't have strong hate for it. And at the end of the day, I guess I like this just as much as I did the 1995 movie. I think that movie's a little better because it has more personality and it's just more fun. But this movie definitely has the gore, it has the violence, it has more money behind it, so it doesn't look as cheap as that first Mortal Kombat movie. But still, it has a ton of problems, and I will never understand the reason why they decided to create a new character to be the lead. I mean, if you look at this banner for Mortal Kombat, they put Cole Young way in the corner right there. It's like nobody cares about Cole Young right there. They want to see Kano, they want to see Liu Kang, they want to see Raiden, Sonya, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. They want to see all these pre-existing characters, Jax, that we've seen in the games beforehand. Nobody cares about Cole Young. So, I don't dislike this movie. I don't think it's bad, but it's just not good either. It's okay. Watch at your own risk. I don't feel too bad that I saw this movie on HBO Max, because this is the kind of movie that is probably better off seeing at home. If you want to see it in theaters and you're that big of a Mortal Kombat fan, then absolutely go for it because you're going to have fun. But for anyone else, just watch it at home. It'll probably be more serviceable at home. You won't feel like you wasted your time going to a theater to see it, because it's just not all that special. Again, when it's fun, but when it's bad, it's bad. But still, not the worst Mortal Kombat movie to exist, so it would have been impressive if this was worse than Annihilation, but hey, what can you do? And there you go, that's my review for 2021's Mortal Kombat. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I want to know what you guys think about the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one. Hello everyone, I just want to say thank you all for watching my review for Mortal Kombat. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell button down below. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go check out my Twitch channel and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.